Hello everyone and welcome to AkronBuzz. Our next guest, Timothy Baxter, all the way from LA and at one point in your childhood in Akron and then all over the country, living a wonderful childhood, and as a young adult you got to live in all kinds of places and you've come back to Akron, and we're thrilled you're on AkronBuzz. Let's start right out of the gate with the event you have coming up at the Lockview. Tell us about that.
Sure. So on August 25th, I'm hosting Punk Rock Salsa on the patio of the Lockview. It's the only patio in downtown Akron. It is a salsa dance party for everyone. It's a alternative dance party, salsa, merengue, cha-cha, to all different styles and genres of music. It's also the perfect party if, say, your friends want a salsa and you're not much of a salsa dancer. Don't worry, we're also going to have, indie pop going on, some hip hop, some soul, some R&B. So it's like a very nice eclectic party for everyone.
And you also get a chance to play at Jilly's. You help to set up events, but then you get a chance to play and have a little bit of creative freedom and live your passion. What do you do at Jilly's?
Absolutely. Well, as a producer and an event coordinator, working at Jilly's Music Room has allowed me to book bands, help with the beverage program, help with their bar program, and also host events. So on the 28th, I am doing Matinee Cabaret. It is a monthly immersive brunch party. It's really geared towards industry people who don't really have the opportunity to go out on Fridays and Saturdays because they're working. So it's kind of a party that is, or I should say an immersive event that could be done on a Friday or Saturday night, but it's done Sunday in the daytime.
You gave me a real interesting perspective on Akron, Ohio. As a person who has lived in LA and has a business in LA and spent part of maybe your childhood in Colorado, and you love Colorado.
Sure, yeah.
But you love Akron. And how does Akron fit into your life and your passion as a musician and all of this that you're doing? You said some really nice things about the Akron scene, and I'd like you to share with us again.
I feel like Akron is and has always kind of been really cool without trying. I feel like the people here what's like the best way? Akron offers something that I have not experienced anywhere else in the country, which is affordable rent for artists. You can be an artist and take risks in the city by taking off work for a little bit, only working for half the month and being able to afford your rent, while also living in this city that offers festivals every weekend in the summer, but it's definitely kind of like a seasonal sort of city. When the winter strikes, it's the perfect time to be reclusive, be an artist, and write an album, or start curating your next art show. So I feel that Akron is really just this gem,
How do you measure success as an event planner, as a producer, as an artist? You put your heart and soul into the event at Lockview or at Jilly's. How do you measure success the next day to think back and go, boy, last night was great because? How do you measure that?
The money never hurts.
Sure. Right. You look at the account, you look at the books.
I love going on vacations as well. I feel as an event coordinator, I do, and an artist, they go hand in hand. I do it because I have to. I'll be in bed and I'll find myself on Facebook, just asking people what event they want to do next and creating this event without even really thinking about it. My desire, my goal in my life is to create memories and experiences, especially in these smaller communities. I just have to do it, So my success, I suppose, is measured by whether the event happens, whether it goes well, and whether or not I make the people that I'm working with money as well, But really, I feel like success is measured by whether or not you can, go to sleep happy at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. What's that word I'm looking for?
It's the reward factor, sure.
The reward factor, but also just feeling accomplished, you know, like accomplished at the end of the day.
And what if you told me earlier that you came back to Akron maybe to not be a workaholic and work in LA 80 hours a week and have some time to work on your music? What does that look like? But then you find yourself wrapped up in all these wonderful events. But what is it if you really had the time to? What does it mean to work on your music? What does that time look like?
I guess, you know, people that work a traditional 9-to-5 have their hobbies. I don't work a traditional 9-to-5, and I guess, you know, there's 24 hours in a day, and you really only need to sleep 6 to 8 hours of those. So, you know, you have all this time to do things. I've always been a multitasker. I think that it's both like a pro of mine and also a bit of a fault. I put my toes into a lot of different ponds of water, but that excites me. I think I've always been someone that gets excited really easily, but that momentum has to stay up. And I feel like it's kind of why being an event producer and an event coordinator is perfect for me, because I can do so many things at the same time. I have to do that. I'm also like, and I don't care how this sounds, I'm also a Libra, so I just have to have that balance. So with that being said, with my off time, I have no problem being reclusive when I'm not on the ball. I kind of have to be.
And you can get up and play at one of your events.
I'm all about playing.
What do you play? Tell me about that.
So as far as my music goes, I'm working on a project right now called Culver Baxter. I feel like most of the things that I do have my surname in it.
Sure.
It's just my thing. It is an experimental pop, soul, R&B. I sing, I compose electronic beats, play hand drums, a little bass, a little piano. And so at Jilly's, at the event, I'm actually experimenting by doing 2 to 3 numbers per event monthly. It definitely gives me the opportunity to put myself out there, but it also gives me the opportunity to always have a deadline, which is really important to me, especially as an independent artist.
Have you ever been to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee? Have you ever been to Dollywood?
I love Dolly Parton so much.
I was noticing that. So
She's my spirit animal.
There you go. Dollywood is a beautiful park. That is a beautiful part of the country. You got to check it out.
Absolutely. I went to Tennessee for the first time at the beginning of this year when I went to Nashville, and it was everything. I love Nashville.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
There are actually like little parts of it that remind me of Austin, and there's little parts of Austin that remind me of Akron.
It is Akron with bigger buildings? Maybe.
Kind of.
We can get there.
Better weather year round.
Probably, sure.
But, you know, like that's...
How does Dolly inspire you? How did this happen?
You know, I feel the fact that Dolly Parton coming from nothing and becoming one of the most iconic faces in entertainment is definitely has a huge factor to do with it. Also the fact that, you know, she's always been an eccentric who kind of just doesn't care what other people think and is going to do it anyways, right, and hopes that you like it. And if you don't, then like maybe you'll like the next one. And I'm very much so the same way, you know, creating a brunch thematic party, you know, that's not for everybody, but you have to experience it once, because you can't judge something like that because you've never seen it before, you know, or an alternative punk rock salsa dance party, you know. It's these elements of surprise. Sure. And she's always surprised me.
Any other ideas you have for things you'd like to do in Akron, or what can Akron do to support your efforts? What's missing in all the music scene and art scene and culture scene that we could do to?
So a lot of my inspiration comes from themes. I, back in LA, specialized in thematic events, working with a company like Disco Dining Club or different liquor companies, bars, private event companies in town. I really want to do thematic dinner parties in historic places that bring, here in Akron, that bring the historic buildings, churches, as well as historians, together with tastemakers, producers, the fashion scene here, especially the food and beverage scene here. That's like really, really where my passion loves, with entertainment and, you know, music and art, poetry, literature, fine art, bringing it all together in this all-encompassing theme and historic places. That's really my end goal here in Akron.
If somebody wanted to reach out to you to be a part of things that you're putting together, or get more information, or say, what is this all about? You know, what's a good way to reach you? What's an easy way to?
Phone number is, no, just kidding.
Right, there you go. It's ringing off the hook, I'm sure, from our huge audience.
You can always reach me on Facebook, timothybaxter.com. Also Instagram, Baxter Speakeasy with one S. I feel like social media is definitely the best way to reach most people and businesses nowadays. Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you for taking the time to come in and
really
share your story.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Phenomenal. Timothy Baxter has been our guest, and we highly encourage you to check out all of the events. Of course, we put all the information on the screen. And thank you for being our guest, and thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.